Oh, okay. Let me.
Stars align, a crew of the fearless, we sail through time. Corvus Spatium, our name etched in light. With a heart full of fire, we'll burn through the night. Through the asteroid fields in the deep unknown, we ride with the fury, our engines have grown. No shadow can claim us, no law can bind. We're free in the stars and we'll never rewind. Corvus Spatium, we're born to fly. Into the darkness, we aim for the sky.
Hey, everybody. So, we are back. You're very plain, sir. You need a jacket. This is a jacket kind of establishment. So, we're back, and tonight we're going to kind of show off some of the new stuff from Invictus. You know, we had 2 weeks off, had some stuff come up. I wasn't serious. You don't have to do that. So, I think we'll start. We've had a lot of developments with the 4.2 stuff coming out. The storms. We got rain in the game now and lightning. It's really cool. Unfortunately, we don't have any video to show of that right now. We are in PTU right now, and seems we haven't left the hangar really yet, but seems to be running okay right now. Last 2 days it was very bad on the desync and lag and stuff. The sorry, we got a bunch of new stuff to play with in Invictus. We got the MTC, we got the Asgard, we got bombs over on the Hornet over there. I don't have a pointer. Which they have fixed that in the PTU and 4.2. We'll talk about that in a little bit. So you want to say hi?
Welcome, everybody.
So we'll start here real quick with the MTC. This is the Baracus paint, and if for the younger ones that don't get that, Baracus is the last name of Mr. T's character in the original A-Team, and he drove a black van with a red stripe down it, and that is what this is. They haven't come out and said that anywhere that I've seen, but I'm pretty sure, like almost guarantee that's what this is. This is their Mr. T van, their A-Team van, and I honestly really like this thing. I do wish the back here would hold the boxes for the Geo. I think that would be a really cool addition because
the Geo. At the same time,
well,
I don't see this really supporting a Geo operation.
Yeah, but
when you have a ship
those Geo boxes can be used as storage also. So they serve a dual function there. So the gun ones have those Geo boxes in them. So I can see that being a loot box on those gun platforms that this supports. This is a support vehicle, you do have 2 gun racks there, 2 gun racks here. You've got 2 suit lockers whenever we get those. This is the big gun, the extra large or whatever it is. Weapons point.
Weapons offline.
Okay, thank you, Basco. We do have engineering. We'll get someday, maybe soon. This is actually your jump seat that you can enter to control the turret from the co-pilot. Then you've got some internal storage, 2 of them down here with 15,000 micro USC. You got 2 of those, so which is really cool. There's lots of little component spots in here. So you got, I think that's life support or something. I don't have a light on it. And this is as bright as it gets in here, which I don't mind. Something that you're going to be coming out of here tactically, you don't want to have your interior lit up. They can see you coming. You know, I wouldn't even mind a exterior light on the outside here. And those are size 2 guns on the top, which I've put the pyro attritions on there for mine, just to get a little more punch than the Badgers that come on it. I think it looks good. I like the stance. I do wish it was a little narrower so it would fit in the Zeus, because I think this inside of the Zeus ES would be an awesome exploration vehicle. You know, you send that out to do your scouting. You've got your little ground vehicle to pair with it. I think it would be a fantastic combination. Even the MR, when we get it, I think will have the room that this would fit. So I do wish that they had made it a little bit narrower. I think they could have squeezed some space in here, you know, cleaned up some of this area, like in here. They didn't need to have as thick, I don't think. They could have squeezed a little, because it's not much wider. I think it would have been pretty, they could have made it fit. It would have been snug, but I think it could have been. Like they didn't have to make these tires stick out that far. But on the other hand, as a Jeep owner, I do like the stance. It has a good look. Um, Cyrus, do you want to pull that over here into the light? The
ship?
Ghost is, yeah, the Ghost has a black paint on it, so it's going to be kind of hard to see over there in the corner. And I don't have a headlamp, so if you'll just park it back on the pad behind at an angle. I don't know what is sparking in here. This just happened when I was, so I had everything
So
lined up out here,
I'm going to tell you right now, it's
and
the ships have been having issues.
well, this happened when it got uh, despawned when you were trying to land. It wasn't doing that before, and it just did it. So I don't know what happened. Actually, if you hover there and put it in missile mode, so I'm below you, so don't land. It's actually very funny that it sticks out like that when the missile doors are shut. But the new missile pods, the Hornet, uh, the F7A, C, the Ghost, the Tracker, can all mount bombs. Unfortunately, the Super Hornets cannot, and that's both Mark 1 and 2 versions. They can all take them. The Gladius, I think, honestly, my opinion, is one of the better options for the fighter bomber, because it's small, can fit in a lot of stuff, and it actually holds 4 of these size 3 bombs, which are really fun to drop. Uh, you can go ahead and land. Easy there. And you can see my turrets on the bugged out.
It can take
The
it.
the they're a size 3 mount, so externals. This is, I think, the only internal mounted one. But the Avengers have it. The the Tana, the whatever that version is, the Freelancer gets them. The MSR does. So a lot of stuff that can mount bombs now that wasn't before. It uses the same bomb drop system that the A1 and A2 use. So you got your ring and you can lock a spot and fly, and it'll green when you drop thing. I like it gives you CAS abilities, so you can support your ground troops. You know, come in, drop bombs before a drop ship comes in, kind of deal. So working in combination with the Asgards and the Valkyries and stuff like that, you can come in fast, drop a couple of bombs, and bail, and then you can provide fighter support above, which I really like the idea. It has that real World War II, Vietnam, Korea, feel to me. Even modern stuff now, they're still using that tactic. So I'm a real fan of the bombs. I don't know how Osiris feels about them. I think he's tired of me talking about them so much, because This has been something I've wanted for a while, and to finally get them is like, yes, finally. But what's your take
So
on?
if you remember, I fly an A1 and an A2, so I'm all about them bombs.
Yeah, I just didn't know how you felt about them on the being, the fighters getting them now.
Well, it makes it so you can actually do a very quick bomb run
Yeah. So you want to
compared
come
to
over
what the
here real quick?
A1 and A2 can.
You got changed clothes already? Okay, so go ahead and bring up your stompy. So actually let me show real quick, and then so we've gotten this in PTU right now for 4.2s, and it's as far as just going into, they just added this yesterday. And if you go to the other category, and as long as you've had them delivered to your hangar, you now have access to your atlases, and you can just drop them. Now, to pull them off the grid, you have to have, go ahead and bring yours up, your multi-tool. So you have to have access to, because they're stuck to the grid. But we can now call up, if we're going out and doing a mining night, we can have my ship here. I can pull out my two, and then Osiris can walk over here and pull up his two. We don't have to take two ships or go somewhere else and load up his. We can load it all here in one hangar, which I really like. And I'm looking forward to them adding the others. So see, this is my hangar, and he just brought it up. So right now, if without pulling it off the grid, if he got into it, he would just be stuck in a floating mode, which is kind of funny. He had to like get out of it in a weird way. So, and I can see that being an issue with them trying to work around. That's why they're not doing the bigger vehicles yet. Because if you have something heavy in there, you're gonna have a big tractor beam to pull it up. But this now lets us be able to just bam out, especially once we get these combat mechs and we're wanting to load a bunch of them in. If I've got one, he's got one, and other people in your org have them, you can pull out multiple. Each person brings out their own, puts it in the ship, and then you go. I can also see this being soon with like the bikes and things like that that are smaller. Uh, the MTCs probably will be one of the next ones to go. Cyclones, things like that. The smaller vehicles, I think they'll start with. You're not going to be able to fit the other Atlas platform, the Centurions and the Ballistas and stuff like that in there yet. It's just going to be way too big. I think they're going to have to rethink that, and they may be able to use these other hangars eventually. They got these other, I think that's one over there. But there's little second little like elevators in here. They may be able to do that eventually. But let's go ahead and go inside the Asgard. So lighting, aesthetically, it looks very good. Sometimes I do wish it was a little brighter. It's, excuse me, it's got fuses everywhere. Uh, Someone's actually got two fuses in that slot. We've got fire extinguishers. The cargo grid is, so I think you see where this line is here on both sides, and it goes to about right here. So you can hold 432s, a bunch of twos and ones stacked around it, and it goes all the way in the center, all the way up to the top. So you get a lot of cargo in. Currently, it's a pain in the ass. Cargo period is janky in live. I don't know what it's like. Oh, and this is actually a door you can control the back ramp from up here. You may have to find the prompt and retract and then extend it again because I had them out when it got stored. So you've got your two door guns. And something I like about this over the TAC, which we're gonna have to do a whole video on the TAC because it's huge, but you can jump up in here. The TAC, once you're out, you can't climb, you can't vault up that. It's got a little ramp that comes out on the TAC, but it's one way. You get in or you get out. You can't get back in. this I do really enjoy the fact that it's got the vault back up. You have on each side you've got matching 750k SU, which that's really weird because the MTC has double almost. Well, yeah, almost double, right? 750 to 1500 in the MTC.
Yep.
That is crazy. So the MTC has two 1500s and this has two 750s. So under here you have two drop seats, one on each side. You see here, Cyrus here, which these are your seats for your door gunners. You've got over here, you've got your engineering panel, which, soon. Then you've got your size fours, size four, twin size fours. And this is where your quantum drive and stuff is, quantum and all that shit. There's components spread all throughout the ship. You got cooler. This thing has 3 coolers on it. So if you get it, first thing I would do is remove 2 of those coolers right now. One of them will keep your signature low enough. And when you're going up this ladder, right now there is a issue. Sometimes it kills you. So open it first. You have a bathroom and this really odd looking crotch mirror. So you can definitely look at your waist and see what your belt looks like. You got your shitter shower. And yeah, the other side you have your bedroom for 2 people. So you got your pilot and co-pilot. I guess your gunners don't get to sleep, or your hot bunking. You've got 4 regular guns and 1 of the extra large 6 pistol slots, and they do not hold detractor beams, the pyro multi-tools. So you can put your pistol or your medical tools, because your medical tools are now pistols. You go down into here, and this is your cockpit. I'm really enjoying. I really like the layout of the ship, more than I thought I would, honestly. But yeah, I kill power there. It is definitely thirsty for power. So you can have full weapons, and then I normally put the rest into the shields. You're still not going to have full shields. You're going to be short a couple, and then short on your thrusters. You could lower your thrusters down to just 1 bar, but now that we have figured out that thrusters control your boosting directions speed, so if you're boosting, it's going to make you boost, turn faster, which to me is actually kind of important, especially these bigger ships. Paint. This is the Sandstorm, something like that. It's the tan one. It looks a little green in here, but it is tan and red with black. The black areas will actually get a patina on them really quickly. And then the tan areas will have like grease streaks and stuff. It actually looks really good when it's been sitting out. You can already see some of it starting to form, and it's brand new out. So you've got the 2 guns underneath the chin, right there, right underneath the cockpit. Then you have 4 more, 2 on each side of the cockpit, right behind the shoulders there. That is your pilot controlled guns. You have VTOL on all these 4. The gunner is very low. If the gunner looks down while you're landed, it'll actually lift the ship up. So let's not do that right now because the stuff's on the ramp, but it will move around. You've got 16, right? 16 missiles, size 3s, which is really good. It's honestly, this is one of the better ships that I've seen out in a while that's like this size. It holds, you can hold the NERSA and the MTC in it with no problems. The Tonk fits in it, but can get stuck if you get it off an angle and you have to center it up real high. and they're having the issues with they like to jump around. I would like to see maybe the ability to go into like a remote turret somewhere for that missiles to be able to rotate it around and co-pilot. The gunner or somebody shooting them would be cool. But it looks like it should to me, but that's not a huge, that's not needed. It's just like it'd be a cool thing. Uh, Osiris likes to call it the Asgard because he's not a fan of the appearance. I kind of like it. So,
Just like you call my favorite ship
the Fugly. I know. I mean,
so I am currently in the MX.
Okay.
In my hangar. Do not leave your hangar because your stuff will be stored. Just a heads up.
Okay. Well, that's fine. I will. Let me put this inside the Asgard, and then I will come to yours. And the pilot has control of the guns when there's not a gunner. Yeah, so plenty of room to store stuff in here. You can fit the ballistas and the Centurions, all that in here really well. You can see Also, I figured out you cannot beat this ramp down to exit. It closes faster than you can run, and you end up on the end and stored right up in that section right there above the end of the ramp. It's a very interesting thing to happen. You can kind of walk around and get hilarious. Out of it. Did you see me do it last night?
Yes.
Yeah. But yeah, I am a big fan of the bombs, the Asgard, and the MTC. The MX I like, but not enough to have it. It's not a bad ship. I like it better than the other two Guardians. Personally, the bed thing isn't a big deal breaker for me, and I have the radiation marker already popped up. So this is a black paint on it too, right?
Yep.
So I don't even know what the color it is stock. It's a different black, right?
Well, I got the green one.
Oh, does it stock with that green? I thought that was a paint you added.
Yeah. No, it is a paint you add, but because the pack that I bought, it comes automatically applies.
Okay. Can you remove it?
Yes.
Okay. So it is chunky. It's a lot fatter. The landing gear sits a lot taller. The cockpit is armored, which is really cool. These are the little blue dots are the actual cameras that project on the inside. The guns, they're in a stored position now, and when you take off, landing gear goes up, the winglet thingies, nacelles, whatever these things are, unfold. The guns kind of come out and down, or out and up, depending on which one you're looking at, and it's kind of cool. I love the fact that it's got 4 guns instead of the 2. Give me more guns any day over 2 of the bigger. I would rather have 4 4s than 2 5s. You still have your elevator. You've got your suit locker in the back. You've got, I guess that's parts, storage, something. Your elevator down. This is all components back here. System processor. You get your quantum. They removed the HAB portion of it. and made it all component access. They also removed, there was a bulkhead here, I believe, where it appears there would have been a bulkhead. So you had like extra doors in here. Then you go into where the cockpit is, which is weird. I can open your door.
Hey, I'll be right back. Okay.
Okay. So it is, of the Guardians, this is my preferred one. The QI I always had issues with. Getting the QI to actually work. So they changed the MFDs in it. So it's hard to see from here, and he's in the seat. But they moved them from being up above in the top of your screen to being at waist level, kind of like right in front of you. So they give you a lot better view overhead. You know, they don't block your forward view as much. That, you know, they're low, so out of the way. And they've actually retrofitted all the Guardians to have this cockpit, except for they don't have the blast shield. The blast shield you can turn on and off. But I also was getting shot out of the seat of my Guardian a lot. A missile would come and hit the glass, and it would kill you. So having the blast shield, I think, is going to help with any of that issues. And you can see it looks clear from this side.
All right, I am back.
Okay, hop out so I can show the interior real quick.
Hold on. All right, you're free to hop in.
Okay. So seat comes down like everything else. It's got the so it has your roller coaster bar. So there is a issue. I don't know if it's still doing it, but when you go into Quantum, the screens reboot. So, but you've got self-destruct down here, deploy armor, and retract armor. So really, with the armor deployed, you don't even know it unless it's rebooting. But you've got all your display down here. I'm going to lift off real quick to show the deployed. And you see how the guns fold and unfold. But I think this is a really cool version of the 3. Definitely my preferred. To get out of the seat, it used to be in the center, right? The button for the exit seat.
Yes, it used to be
so
in the
now
center.
it's down here, and if you right click, it's kind of hard to see the exit front. But yeah, it's of the 3A Guardians, this is my preferred.
Oh shit! I didn't notice this. It's got a fucking ram air scoop, dude.
Those are probably the hydrogen scoops, because all the ships have.
Never noticed that.
Yeah. So something else that we've got, which I don't have a way to show it. We got the missile turret for the Scorpius, which gives the pilot
off.
What?
I think I might have one. I don't know if I hold on.
You had one in your picture, but it gives the pilot control of 36, 32. Yeah, 32 missiles, which is actually more than the Fat Fury here. The MX gets 24 size 2s, right?
Yeah.
And the Scorpius will have 32 size 2s, and you put those as rattlers, and you can fire 4 at a time. It looks badass. And it's 2 above the cockpit, and then where the turret goes, and it's locked forward as long as there's no co-pilot.
Are you off?
Yeah. And then the stock ones that are on there, and I like running it with the speed blade, so it goes 100 meters per second faster in nav speed. And I don't remember, it's a good chunk faster in SEM also with the speed blade in. And between the two, the benefit you would get for the and blades in general, the benefit you get for the maneuvering on that ship, I feel like the speed is better. And right now we only have a handful, and I'm really surprised that the Hornet didn't get a blade package. I don't know, because that is their like golden child, the Hornet and the Gladius, and I'm surprised that it didn't get a blade package. We got it for a lot of other ships, like the MPUVs got it, and I don't understand why the MPUVs need blades at all.
The Gladius did get one.
Yes, the Gladius got them. The
Hornet didn't.
The Hornet didn't, but the Pisces got it also. Which those two, I don't understand why those got it. Oh, and I guess we'll go ahead and run through this too while we're. So we've got. This is also something that's been happening in live. So what?
I did not expect both of them to be on the phone.
It happens a lot. And if you don't store it, it happens. So these right here are missiles. You get 12 of them. They're size 2s, controlled by the co-pilot, and that's the camera that controls them right there. It's just like the turret on the torpedoes on the Polaris. Basically, this compartment hasn't changed at all from the Max. Where it changes is past this door and upstairs. So you immediately go into your medical suite. So you got your 2 size tier 3 beds, so you can set your respawn and stuff there. You've got.
Look, there's med gun spots.
Yes, there's some little storage there. You got a little bit of storage underneath, which is kind of cool. I guess
storage is over here.
Is there? Okay. Yeah. So you got storage here. 650. That is really good. You can store a lot of medical stuff in here. You've got. This is actually a little refrigerator. So people who are planning on living out of these things are really gonna have lots of stuff to do. So then you go into your drop seats, and this is what I was saying. The drop seats are too high. The ramp here is too high to jump up onto. I would really like to see that change, being able to get back in, because it goes right in there instead of to go back ramp. Because you don't always want to open your back ramp if you're in a combat. Keep going to the other side to go around you and you switch. So you got these are your size 5 guns. And you go into it, they seal behind you, and you're out. And so you got your hydros, so you can go to the lowrider competition. This is where you're locked to your forward. This is your locked on your up. Down goes a little bit better. Don't want to do it too much because it does rock the ship. And then that's your rear. So you're definitely locked for basically broadsides. But these are size 5, so that's really hitting hard. You're going to be able to do a lot of damage on that. That's a lot of damage. So from here, you go into the normal stuff here. Are you locked in? So they removed the weapons locker from here and added another suit locker, which I don't 100% agree with that.
Emergency override button inside. Go look.
Okay. Yeah, because they had people getting stuck in them. In some of the older ships that don't have it, they had to retrofit that. So you go up. Your bridge area is basically your same. You got your escape pods there. You've got pilot, co-pilot, your 2 top gunners. This is where it changes again. So you've got your weapons locker here, which I like that, but I wish it still had one down below. You've got bathrooms on both sides here. So you've got your kitchen suite, your refrigerator down there. No pool table. This is your hab. So you got 8 beds, and these are little lockers, are all accessible. So each person gets a locker, 650. That's a lot of storage. And once we have actual suit lockers, you'll be able to keep personal items in there. Then go to your suit locker to put on your armor. You've still got your elevator here. This is one of the things that I don't agree with the design. I don't know why they didn't just put the door right here. It would have been very easy. Just running from there to here. Now you're back here. You got your engineering's all the same. As far as engineering, I think the only thing that really changed on this was it added a second shield. So this is your snub hanger, which it is built for a Fury. You can see the little Fury design, which is kind of cool. The Merlin fits in here very well. You have to put it at an angle. You put your nose over here in the corner, and when you get out, you're standing right here. So it fits in real well. That's what I've been using in here. It's the referral from this past, the Invictus here. There's a few other ships that'll fit here. The MPUVs will not, at least not with the landing gear down. If you put the landing gear up, folded, it'll sit in here okay, but it's not worth it. I thought it was, I really had hoped that it would fit better. And it has to go in at an angle because I thought it would be good for, long missions and bounties, moving that cargo out in space. Somebody could just jump in that, throw stuff in there and go. Or moving, stuff around on a ground, stuff like that. I thought it would have been a cool thing. But yeah, the only real complaints I have about it, other than the speed, is atrocious on this thing. I wish the door for the hangar was here. Move it on the front from the back, so that if you're cruising and your pilot's in his rack, he can run straight back and jump in there. He doesn't have to run all the way around. At least there's not a whole bunch of doors. And then I would have not removed the gun locker that was here. Maybe made it smaller so you had the two, because it only took up that one suit locker. So I think leaving that suit locker there would have been, or leaving the gun rack there would have been good. Because right now, once you're down here, you have no place to pick up a gun. You'd have to go back upstairs to get your gun. That doesn't make sense to me. Unless the plan is to have your gun stays on the armor while it's in the locker. I don't know how that's supposed to work yet. They don't know, I don't think. But yeah. Even of putting gun racks back here somewhere. Oh, they do have gun racks there. So maybe that's what you're supposed to do. Just leave your gun. I didn't realize there. But yeah. I am happy with the ship. It's fairly tanky. We landed one at one of the sites last night, and the turret was shooting the shit out of it for 5 minutes before it started taking damage, and then once it got shields down, it blew up. Osiris decided to lock a target with missiles in the jump point protected area, and we got blown up, but it took a while. But the current in live right now, the speed on it is 110. in SCM mode. In PTU, they've increased it to 130, I believe, 135, something like that. Which it's not a huge increase, but it is an increase, and it's worth it. I'm off the platform. But yeah, so other than the Idris, which that we could spend 2 hours going through, that is everything we really got this week. We got the bombs, we got blades. I know a lot of people are upset about blades. I'm okay with it. They sell them. You don't have to buy them. They're going to be in game purchase soon. I believe they're supposed to be in this patch, the 4.2 or maybe the one after. Just like everything else, and you buy it in game, and then a few patches later you get it in, or you buy it live or for no money. A few patches later you get it in game. A lot of people don't like that. It supports the game. I like playing the game. I don't mind spending, it was like $15 for the credit version of the blades. Depending on the ship, it was a little different prices, but to me, it wasn't that big of a deal. Throw some money at the game. I could always melt them, use that money on something else. So I did. I got the blades, the bomb racks, and I got the turret for the Scorpius. So I didn't get all the blades, but I got it for Gladius, Scorpius. I have in buybacks the one for the Titan, the Avengers, and I think that was it. Because each Avenger, for some reason, had its own blade pack. They were like all of them in one pack, but each of them had its own pair of blades. I don't understand the reasoning on that. I think at least have all
the
the way.
Scorpius also had one of each in the pack.
Okay. I think if you buy one for the Scorpius, one set of blades should work with both ships. You don't need one for the Antares and one for the base. You don't need one for the Warlock and one for the Avenger Titan, and you don't need one for the Stalker on those. One blade should have fit in all. Honestly, my biggest complaint about the blades is that they're limited to individual ships. I think is that what is shooting at the other end of the hangar? You're over here,
Another
right?
player?
Okay.
Yeah.
I guess it's in their hangar. I was like, all I saw was shots shooting up in front of the attack, and I'm like, what in the hell? Sorry.
Yep.
Yeah, I think having the blades work on all ships, buy a set of blades and it'll work on any ship. I think that would have been the better move, but maybe there's more in the back end that requires it. I don't know. Maybe
right, let's
having
your Asgard.
Huh?
Let's go to your Asgard.
Okay. I'm not getting in there. Now I'll get in. I do think maybe they should have done like a size 1, a size 2 type deal with it over individual ships, but these things, who knows what the reasoning behind it is. But we've gone way over our normal time tonight, and I think we will call it here. Thanks for joining us, guys, and we will see y'all next week.
Dude, what the fuck is up with this shit?
They can still hear you.